Hey guys, welcome back to Kryptonite. Be your own bank because I believe cryptocurrency is the way to finally be your own bank, finally get to do what the banks do. Because, guys, when you deposit your money into a bank, they do provide some security, there's no doubt about that, but they offer you meager to little returns when they take your money and they go invest it and they give you basically nothing back. Okay, so that's the problem, right? They give you some security, but guys, there are other ways to take your money and make money off of your money. Now, guys, disclaimer, crypto is a space that there are scammers, there are hackers, there are bad people out there that use it negatively. And if you need to follow strict rules when using cryptocurrencies. So it's not necessarily for certain people because they're not willing to follow those rules to the T to protect themselves in case those scammers and bad people get a hold of your crypto. So I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Do your own research. I'm just a guy on YouTube trying to educate the world on my passion for cryptocurrencies because I think they're freaking so cool. The technology is epic. And again, I think it frees people to finally exit our fiat system that only just inflates our money away and inflates your buying power away. That is why things are getting more expensive day in, day out. It's not because anything you're doing wrong. It's because we are in a debt spiral and that money will continue to be printed and printed and printed. But Bitcoin is a solution, I think not only for the potentially for the government and the world, but for you individually, this could be a solution to protect your wealth, protect that money that you've earned and you've worked hard for. This is a way to protect it, guys, because Bitcoin basically runs inverse of global inflation. So that's why it's super, super important, guys. Crypto, as we know, Trump and everyone is going to be advocating for it a lot during his term and is going to put a lot of things in place. So it's good for you to understand crypto now and get in the space early so you understand how to use it and how to use it safely. And that is what I'm here for, guys. Kryptonite, be your own bank. Okay. As you can see, I've got some news up here that I want to share about. And again, I'm always trying to educate people on the different use cases of cryptocurrencies and why they have a place. And it's not always something super financial that maybe you find really boring or that's too intricate for you, right? I explained in my last video, if you go check it out, I talked about how Bitcoin or crypto and the blockchain, you can lend and borrow, which is something that banks do with your money. They go lend it, they go borrow it, they go invest it to make money off of it. Now you can do that too via the blockchain. And those are just basic uses of the blockchain. Now there's more fun, gaming style uses, guys. As you can see, this article here by Beating Crypto is a new game is coming out for FIFA where they're going to be integrating NFTs using what I believe is the Mythos blockchain. So one of the blockchains that we have, there are many blockchains available. They're going to be using NFTs. And so this is a game that people are going to be playing, that people are going to be trading NFTs, which are transactions on the blockchain, which provide income for those running the blockchain, those validators. I'm not sure if you don't know what this term is. Certain people stake their crypto with a blockchain to get rewards for people using the blockchain. It's their income, right? It's the way some of these blockchains make money because they're businesses. People are using them, guys. Don't listen to people who tell you that these things are worthless because they're not physical, okay? If they have users and users are transacting, that is a business. That makes money, okay? So that has value, guys. If you can draw a user base and they're using whatever technology isn't even if it isn't a physical item or a physical service, it doesn't mean that is a scam or worthless. It means that there's a user base. They make money from people transacting. So this game will probably draw sports fans. I'm a big sports fan myself, and they'll be using Mythos. They'll be using, you can see, built with Polkadot as well, which is sort of there's a deeper explanation with Polkadot. I'll go into in a different time, but they sort of connect blockchains. As you can see, yeah, this is just another use case. NFTs, for those of you that know, they got real popular at the top of the market in 2020, 2021. They were huge. I was into them. I was buying them and stuff like that. And guess what, guys? All my NFTs went to zero, basically, because that was sort of a top signal. People buying somewhat worthless gifts, right? That was kind of a top signal. People were just had way too much money from all the COVID printing and were just blowing it on the stupid stuff. And I fell into the trap, guys. I bought NFTs and they're all completely worthless. Okay, so I'm not here to tell you that you need to invest in NFTs. By the way, I'm here to tell you this is a game that you can play that you might just for your own enjoyment, not to actually make money. You might just play it because you think it's fun. A lot of people play games because they're fun. They don't actually make any money off of them. In fact, a lot of people spend money on skins in a game of Call of Duty. So people are willing to play games and spend money in games and not make any money in games. So I don't think people who are going to be playing this game are necessarily expecting to make any money off of them. That's not the point of what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you that this is going to draw a user base, and a user base is going to use a blockchain, and a blockchain is going to allow these NFT transactions to take place. And guess what? You pay fees when you make transactions on blockchain. So people that stake the blockchain, validators that run the blockchain, they make money. That's what's called a business, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so that's why this is a legitimate thing. So I'm not here to say do this, play this game because you're going to get rich off NFTs. That's not what I'm trying to tell you. What I'm telling you is invest in the infrastructure of this kind of stuff, right? The Mythos blockchain. I personally don't use the Mythos blockchain, but seeing this, I might look into the Mythos blockchain, see if they have a crypto token that you can stake. Okay, I think that this blockchain is going to draw a lot of these games. Sweet, I'm going to invest in the infrastructure that's allowing these games to take place, right? That's what I'm about. That's what I preach a lot about on my channel, is not so much interesting. Is not so much, hold on, let me pause this real quick. Okay, so that's what I talk about a lot on my channel is let's not focus on meme coins and a lot of this garbage that's worthless stuff. Let's look at the infrastructure, right? Let's look at the blockchains that are going to be like, people like to speculate on meme coins. I don't really get involved too much with that because there's just so much risk. You most likely will lose everything. But there's an infrastructure that's providing the ability for people to invest in meme coins and trade meme coins and trade any coin. There's infrastructure. Invest in that infrastructure. It's not going to be, get rich quick to, millions of dollars like you could if you invest in the right meme coin, but infrastructure and fundamentals will stand the test of time. Okay. That's one of the reasons why I invested in ADA and just continue to hold my investment, because I saw it's for most people, ADA is way too boring. Right? They're this blockchain is so boring. It's not like a meme coin that's fun and flashy and this and that. No, but the fundamentals and the structure of ADA is why I invested in ADA, and now ADA is up almost to $1. So that's what I'm interested in, is educating people. Hey, this isn't just a scam. This isn't just gambling. This isn't just meme coins. There's an infrastructure that provides actual financial instruments, that provides ability for people to get out of tough situations. For a great example is there's a story of this lady who lived in Afghanistan, and she held her money in a Bitcoin wallet in Bitcoin, and she had to flee her country because the Taliban had rolled in. She was an educated woman. They're probably going to kill her or something like that. And guess what? She was able to escape. She lost all her physical possessions, all gone, right, to get out of the country. She got out. She got to a neutral country. She was able to access internet. She was able to access her wallet that had all her savings and her Bitcoin in her wallet. She kept all her wealth. If she did not have access to this technology, she would have lost everything and started from absolute zero. So there is a lot of benefits to this technology that goes far beyond gambling and scams and meme coins. But unfortunately, that's what the majority of Americans who are not financially educated, that's all they think about. They just think about, I'll talk to people and be like, I'm into crypto. They're like, I am too. And I'm like, what kind of like coins have you bought, or what kind of blockchains have you used? I just have Doge. Okay, you're not into crypto. You're into gambling. You're into speculating. Like, everyone and their mother was buying Dogecoin because they're trying to get rich. Okay, that's not a true crypto person. A true crypto person understands the benefits of having something out that has no central point of failure, that's outside of government control, that gives you financial freedom, escape from our fiat system, and personal sovereignty, holding your own funds, not reliant on a bank which could go under, by the way. And I've experienced that recently, unfortunately. Uh, that is the purpose of cryptocurrencies. And of course, you have awesome ways to do NFTs and to, maybe they'll eventually get titles of houses on blockchains that you can trade, right? Cutting out intermediaries, saving you money, being able to have that ownership in your wallet, like your title in your wallet that says that you own this house, right? Like that's the future kind of use case of some of these things. So that is kind of what I'm preaching here. You can play the game, that's totally fine. A lot of people will. Doesn't mean that, but again, it's about the infrastructure of what's being built on underneath these kind of things that people will play. So I thought that was really cool. I also wanted to look into Ethereum a little bit. Ethereum has been struggling. It has not been keeping up with the rest of the cryptocurrency market, which is a bummer for a lot of crypto holders because a lot of us hold, Ethereum is like our main number 2 investment other than Bitcoin, right? So what's going on with Ethereum? Well, Ethereum does have, unfortunately, some red flags to it. Doesn't mean I don't think it's going to still be long-term successful, but Ethereum is facing some pretty intense competition right now because you have Coinbase creating their own blockchain called Base, where they're basically doing what businesses do, where they undercut, right? So Coinbase has a lot of money, and so what they're doing is they're undercutting these other blockchains by charging like no fees. They're eating the cost of those fees because they're trying to gain those users away from Ethereum, away from some of these other blockchains. That's not sustainable. That's not a sustainable business model forever. Eventually, they're going to have to charge fees and different things, right? Because they have to make a profit, okay? However, they're making good profit from Coinbase being the main exchange used that people use to trade. So they're making money off that too. So they're able to undercut these other blockchains. So that has increased the competition. You have blockchains like Solana, which again charges super, super cheap fees, has a lot of VC funding. And again, those things are undercutting the price of some of the more blockchains that are, I would say, are a little bit more fundamental in their strength because you do have to pay for transactions. And I think that's important because VC money runs out. Eventually a business has to make money. So VC funding only lasts for so long. That's why I think as much as I love Solana and I'm investing in Solana and I think it's still a great product, you have to still look at it as a company that could fail. If they can't find a way to generate revenue, like legitimate revenue long term, they are going to go under. So I don't necessarily think Solana is going to last forever, guys. Doesn't mean I'm not investing in it now. Doesn't mean I don't think that it can last a decent amount of time because it's a great product. It's a product I use on a regular basis because it's so cheap, but that only can last so long. So I think Solana kind of has a shelf life, to be honest. I think things like Ethereum, things like ADA, some of these other blockchains have a little bit more fundamental value to where, yes, they are going to charge a little bit more with their transactions, but they're going to be sustainable long term because a business model has to make money, and things like Base, things like Solana, can only last so long charging how cheap they're making transactions, okay? They're going to have to find other ways to make revenue. And Solana, they're trying to make a phone, they're trying to do some other stuff too. So they're trying to find ways to generate revenue off their blockchain, which is cool. And again, I view those things more like companies, and you can invest in companies as long as you feel like the direction of the company is going in the right direction, right? As soon as you feel that they're going in the wrong direction, you typically would remove your investment. You don't think it's going to last, right? So blockchains like Bitcoin, of course, Ethereum, ADA, things like that, I feel like have more fundamental structure, and so they're things I think will last long term through the test of time, really. But one of the problems with Ethereum is they have made changes to the blockchain, which has made it less valuable. A few years ago, Ethereum used to be proof of work, just like Bitcoin. You'd have to mine it. This is a great incentive for miners to validate the blockchain. This creates a lot of decentralization because energy is spread out across the world. No one controls all energy, right? So this makes it very decentralized. Ethereum switched to proof of stake. Proof of stake means that if you hold a certain amount of Ethereum, you can have a certain amount of say in the network. Well, guess what? That money has consolidated with like 8 different companies that now hold a majority of the Ethereum. So these 8 companies could technically conspire and make changes to the blockchain. This makes it less valuable because it's less robust in its decentralization. So it can be more easily controlled, right? Say the government wants to put pressure on these companies and then force them to do some unethical things, maybe print more, whatever it is, right? They might have to comply because there's only a few companies, right? If it's spread out amongst hundreds, thousands of companies, right? Like Bitcoin, for example, then it's going to be so much harder to just control the network because it's so spread out. So they made themselves less valuable when they went from proof of work to proof of stake, and then they also made more recent changes to the blockchain to kind of reduce fees and things like that, which they have to because they have to compete with Base, with Solana, because they're losing too many users. Even with the layer 2 scaling, they're still losing a lot of users. So they kind of have to do that to compete. But the problem too is the less people that use Ethereum, it actually becomes inflationary, guys. Ethereum is not like Bitcoin. It's not this, nope, there's only 21 million ever, deal with it. No, Ethereum is basically has to be used a certain amount. And if it's not being used a certain amount, it actually becomes an inflationary currency. This is problematic because guess what, guys? Competition, right? They're facing competition from these other blockchains that are currently undercutting them. Now, could Ethereum still make it to the end when these other businesses, in order to make money, might have to stop undercutting? It's possible. But sometimes this is a business practice that is somewhat unethical at times. And I was actually reading an article the other day about how this can be something that you can take to court based on the companies doing this kind of practice to put other companies out of business. So it's like a competitive thing, but it can be unethical at times because you can really force a lot of competition out by just undercutting them for a period of time, and then they fail, and then now you can jack up your prices, right? And so that's what our government tries to prevent monopolies from occurring. This is one of the ways that happens. So there could be some regulation in regards to this coming out in the future that would, maybe prevent this type of business practice, because we want competition, of course. We want fair competition. But at the end of the day, these companies, they have to make money, which means they have to produce a profit, which means they got to charge for transactions. So I still think Ethereum is still used so much. All the layer 2s are very inexpensive. So, I use the layer 2s as well. They're not as good as a Solana or a Base maybe, but they're still good. They're still cheap. They still have the underlying infrastructure of the Ethereum network. So I do think that Ethereum is going to be okay. It's just we need to see this bull market hit a bigger high to where more people are using Ethereum, especially with like NFTs and stuff. So I'm not going to lie, like as I'm even talking about this, I am worried about Ethereum because the competition, the different blockchains are pulling users away. Less users means more inflationary currency for Ethereum. So I don't know, guys. It's definitely tough, right? Bitcoin's really the only one that's really safe. Everything else is kind of like a business. It could eventually go out of business, right? If they're not making money, right? Bitcoin's the only one that's not really a business. It's just a worldwide currency. So unfortunately, Ethereum has not been following the same market path. A lot of people are, I'm just going to see some of these whales who had at $6 are selling, maybe because they're thinking like, oh my gosh, like Bitcoin's going up, all these other coins are going up, Ethereum's doing nothing. They're probably selling their Ethereum so they can get exposure to these other markets that are doing a lot better right now. So I don't really blame them, but I do still think Ethereum is going to be okay. So I'm not too worried about it. Also saw this really cool thing. Some of you who are newer to crypto might not understand. MetaMask is a wallet service where you can kind of hold your crypto, and they're actually enabling swaps without Ethereum for fees. Now, this is another knock against Ethereum because typically one of the reasons why Ethereum is so valuable is because you have to hold Ethereum in your wallet to use for transactions. So a lot of people just have a chunk of Ethereum just sitting in their wallet doing nothing because they're waiting to use it for a transaction. And typically you'd have to go get Ethereum from an exchange onto your wallet before you could do any interactions. MetaMask, though, enabling swaps means, guess what? They can use other currencies that you have to make the swap. Now, the Ethereum network is still going to get the profit of that transaction, but people aren't going to feel the need to just hold Ethereum in their wallet anymore because you can hold it in something else and MetaMask can still make the swap. See where this is problematic for ETH. Less people just holding ETH in their wallet, more ETH in circulation, simple supply and demand, more supply, less demand, price goes down. Okay, this is not good for Ethereum, I don't think. It's great for MetaMask. It's great for the individual user to give them more flexibility, not that great for Ethereum. So unfortunately, it's a bummer to see a lot of my Ethereum holdings not really doing a whole lot, whereas my other ones, which I have less in, are doing fantastic. So just a couple key notes that I thought were very interesting this morning, just reading up on some news. That is all for today, guys. I'm going to do these videos almost every day if I can, because I do believe that you need to understand how to use this new technology, especially with the Trump administration coming into office. There will be changes. This will become more part of your daily life. And again, You do need to learn how to use it safely. So if you need any help, please comment below, hit me up. I can do some consulting for you, and we can help get you set up, guys. So as always, Kryptonite, be your own bank. See you guys.